welcome to Best Two Podcast, the podcast where women come to tell their stories, because when women tell their stories, we are stronger individually and collectively. I am your host, Cindy.
And Sam.
And we are here to have some fun and have conversation and chat up our special guest. I showed you guys her cards. Oh, I don't know if you, my obsessions, Cindy's obsessions, and I really got obsessed with her cards. I still am. And so we have in studio today Sophia Elias from FineAssLines.
FineAssLines.
Yes. FineAssLines.
So we make cards.
How sad am I?
No, it's okay. It's fine.
All right. So, Sophia.
Yes.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
And Sophia did a drawing for us earlier, which you guys will see later on.
It's a pigeon in a turtleneck.
So as you know, we have conversations here. We're just telling our stories, and we're having a really good glass of wine that it took us freaking forever to get into, but that's how you know it's good, right? So, Sophia, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey, and
Sure.
Yeah, just share with us.
Well, it started, I've said this before to other people, but you don't wake up and want to become a card maker. It's just something that happens to you based on circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
I've always drawn, and I've always kind of used that as a creative outlet. I'm not trained in any way, and I've never really gone to a real art class.
Mm-hmm.
So to revert back to something that you did as a child and then turn that into your career path is sort of strange.
Mm-hmm.
It started kind of as a fluke where I was drawing stuff online, and I would put it up on a blog spot way back when there was a blog spot, and I wanted to call the blog FineLines, but that was taken, which I'm actually glad it was taken because that's so, I mean, whatever, it's fine, but
it's generic. Yes, I'm not.
So I was like, let's just add ass to it and see what happens. So I came up with FineAssLines.blogspot.com, and I just started putting up sort of silly satirical things, and then I thought, okay, why not try and monetize this and turn this into something? What's an easy way to try and monetize? So Etsy, this is before Etsy was, the overwhelming platform that it is now. It's so saturated with stuff, but at the time it was still pretty much like you could kind of get a breakthrough with it and start reaching customers more easily. So I put my stuff up on Etsy, and by the way, I was living in my parents' house at this time, and I was printing them from their home office computer. That's how I was making these greeting cards. It was coming off of a Microsoft desktop.
This is so
on
awesome.
Microsoft
I love this.
It's ridiculous.
From the ground up, I love it.
Literally. And so I put things on Etsy, and I started getting sales, and I was pretty shocked by that. But it was an interesting thing because, I guess it's not interesting. It was just gratifying to know that something that you made was worth someone else's money in their mind. And it motivated me to keep going and trying to make more stuff and more funny stuff. And okay, well, what can we do here? And then I started getting wholesale inquiries, and I had no idea what wholesale even was. I didn't know how that worked. I had to look it up. And I started getting into stores. So that was another, everything I've been doing had kind of, up until that point, had grown very organically, and I had no education or training to sort of help me navigate that. So it was all looking stuff up online and trying how to figure out, what is the wholesale price of a greeting card? What is the wholesale, how much should I put as my minimum order or whatever? So that was a learning experience. And then from there, I just started growing, and I was in college at the time, so by the time I graduated, or I was ready to graduate, and P.S. I graduated when I was 25 from college because, long story short, I took night classes, but at that point I was fortunate enough where I could make that into my full-time job, and I wasn't and that came with a nervous breakdown as well. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to graduate from college. What am I doing? What am I going to do? I have no idea what I want.
Yeah.
And thankfully, my dad came into my room after I had this whole blowout with my family. And he's like, listen, you have a profitable hobby. You're growing. Wouldn't you want to make this into your, do you want to make this?
Turn your hobby into your business, but make sure you keep it as your love.
Yes.
I did that. I love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had done a birthday party for myself. It was a New Orleans themed birthday party.
Ooh, okay.
I got down. I cooked from scratch. I got down. And so then a good friend of mine, she was getting married and she needed somebody to do her wedding. I help her plan her wedding because, you know, you don't do your wedding on your own. It's just like craziness.
I can't imagine.
And so I did her wedding, and then it just started snowballing from there. But at some point, it stopped being fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I got out of it. I said, you know what? If it's not going to be fun, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it and it not be fun. So it stopped being fun because it started being like, my daughter wants this $50,000 wedding, and we only have a budget of $20, and I can't tell her. And I'm like, no, I'm not going crazy with you because, like, that's your job.
Right.
So
right.
I got out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. But that's a much harder thing because then you have to, like, find people to help you cater and serve and all that stuff. And so you have to do all that and then all the pricing and everything. But
for you, they actually came looking for you. Right?
Exactly. So that's like awesome.
What stores are you in right now so we can tell people how to find you?
Well,
exactly.
My largest accounts are Paper Source and Urban Outfitters right now. I just secured another large account. I don't want to I feel like I'm going to jinx my life if I talk about things.
I hear you. You've got a good one and things are growing.
Yeah, things are growing. And
you're already in Urban Outfitters.
Yes.
And Paper Source.
Yes.
And Paper Source.
So people know where to go and find them and buy them. But both of those came looking for you, or did you have to actually sort of, you know, knock on the doors of either one of those?
So Urban Outfitters happened over Etsy. They found me on Etsy that way. And we collaborated and we did a custom card together, and then they started ordering other cards that were just already in my collection. Mm-hmm. And then with Paper Source, I did the trade show, which is called the trade show. I did a trade show called NSS, National Stationery Show, in 2018, and so that's how they found me there. But yeah.
Nice. I fell in love with your cards. Well, obviously when you moved in next door and I didn't know who you were, and then Gary told me and he made me look you up online. So I looked you up and I'm like, her cards are hilarious. I love them. They're quirky and like, they're just funny. I love your cards. How do you come up with ideas for them?
Gosh, it changes. It depends. Like, if you look, I don't know. It's like I wanted to do. I kept getting. I was telling her earlier because I was drawing the pigeon with the turtleneck on. So stupid.
It's gonna be between you guys when it goes up on YouTube.
Whenever he's here, you'll see. I found that on the Explore page on Instagram, so it was like a meme that I was like, well, that's kind of funny, and maybe I'll do something with that in the future, and that's why I decided to draw it there. But I kept getting possum memes on my Instagram Explore page, and I was like, well, I feel like maybe there's something to that. Maybe I'll do something with possums, or like you see Keanu Reeves everywhere, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll do something with that, or you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you either start with a concept or an image, or it goes the reverse way, where you start with copy and then come up with an image. And doing it comedically is very difficult. Like, I'm a fan of comedy. I love stand-up. I love sketch comedy. But it's such a different medium. Like, making cards is so... You have literally a second, maybe, to capture whoever your customer is based on copy and or an image. So...
That's true.
It has to be sort of stupid and ridiculous and whatever. You know, that's why they're...
capture their attention so they pick it up and go, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
You have one that's the pinata one. What is that one that you showed me?
Smack that ass.
Yes! Smack that ass. I love that one. That's my card.
That, and I don't like possums, but I love the play dead.
Yeah.
That one's
Because
funny.
I'm like, that would be perfect for Thanksgiving. You're just like...
But how do you come up with the sayings? You create the image and then you just come up with the saying? Like, for right now, I have one in my mind. You can do it, and you can have this free of charge.
Oh, no.
You put a turkey
8%.
and a turtleneck. Cold turkey.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I've done it. That's all I got.
Oh, that's perfect. Turtleneck seems to be on theme tonight, so that's very good.
I love that. So how does your family really support you? Do you pull from your family? Because you are literally, I've been into your shop, you're like a one-man show.
Yeah.
A one-woman show, and they're doing packing and sending and shipping. And
Yeah.
Amazing.
So does your family get involved or friends get involved at all?
Yes. So my family helps me pack larger orders. So like over the Christmas Christmas has already passed for cards right now. It's sort of like it's over, especially for big box. But they help me pack orders. My mom will take some home with her, or she'll come here and help me at my office. I'll take some home. My boyfriend will help me out, and he's he's had a hard day at work, and he's just packing cards and sticking things on for me. But yeah, they help me in that regard.
When do you start shipping for, say, Thanksgiving? When did you ship?
I've never done a Thanksgiving card, but I would assume, let's see, Christmas is September, so probably August.
Okay.
Yeah, August, maybe even July.
So you have to be thinking in that
It's
Christmas
like the fashion.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the fashion industry.
During
Like
summer.
I remember I used to work for a company down in Orange County, a women's clothing company, and we were like, they're already 2 seasons out.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're already into summer next year right
That's
now.
insane.
It's that kind of thing that they do. So it must be kind of the same way with cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite as and it's also not on trend, I guess. There's not very many. I mean, there are trends in stationery, and in fact, there's a magazine called Stationery Trends, but I don't know. It's not there's not as much pressure and maybe ego involved as there is in fashion. But there is like a release schedule. So if you're releasing cards to your vendors, you are email blasting them in August about Christmas, so that they can consider it and speak with their buying team or whoever.
Right. So do you give them like this assortment, like these are the 5 that I'm thinking for Christmas, or this is the one that I have for Christmas? Like how many prototypes do you have to come up with, or is it just this is what I have for Christmas?
I personally hi everybody. Hello. God, I'm so scared.
Don't be scared.
Just so have some more wine. Girl.
I'm starting to think all your secrets will be falling out.
Lay that wine down.
I'm kidding. No, yeah, I don't, honestly, I'm not, there's people that are really diligent and good about that, and they have like a certain amount of cards that they will release per year or per quarter. I just do what I kind of want to do within the time frame, and I don't know, I used to try and follow that system of releasing X amount of cards, but what I found was that I was releasing stuff that I didn't like or that I didn't care about. So, or I was like, okay, well, what's going to sell? And then you start thinking, and you don't
want to get caught. Well, you don't want to get caught up in that because, like,
it's a delicate dance.
I had a girlfriend who used to tell me that everybody's something is somebody's fetish, So, like, I love cards.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do love cards. I love sending out cards. I love getting cards. Mostly I love sending them out. Like, I still send out Christmas cards.
Yeah, you did.
By the mail.
Yeah, you did.
I love that. I love doing that.
Yeah.
But...
And I like getting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is. It really is. You feel special.
Like I told you, our Facebook page is all women. And I created that so that women could come and tell their stories and they could network with each other.
Right.
And I have a lot of women on there who are thinking about it or who have tried their own business. So how do you do your thing? How do you do your hobby and still keep it fun without turning it into like, okay, I got to stop this. I can't do this no more.
Yeah. You have to make things, even if you're not making them for commerce or for sale, you have to do something that's going to keep you happy. So, and I find that what makes me most happy is things that I think are funny. Like my favorite cards are some of the best sellers because I think other people think similarly. And if your job isn't fulfilling you, then I would hope that whatever it is, your hobby is fulfilling you in some way so that you do feel, I don't know, motivated. But if you want to turn your job into your hobby, it's, I guess it comes down to somehow integrating.
How does it work for you? How do you keep that balance between this is my hobby, I love it, I'm having fun with it, but I don't want to cross over to the dread side.
I mean,
do you draw lines? Like, on Sunday I'm not going to draw. Sunday I'm not going to think about anything. I have
absolutely.
a day that...
Yes.
Does that work for you?
Yes. Weekends I do not even bother. Unless if it's like a holiday weekend or I'm doing a pop-up or something like that. I keep like a pretty distinct separation between work life and family or whatever, personal life. And then when I get home, I try not to look at my email. I try not to mess with that. I'm like, it can wait. Whatever it is can wait.
Yeah.
And that definitely helps. And also making, like, as a person who works alone, and I don't know if any of your listeners or subscribers work by themselves.
Yeah, a lot of them do, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it can get, like, you can get in your head, and you can get a little depressed, and you can get, like, a little weirded out about your own self. And I started making more of an effort with my friends to go out to dinner and say, okay, I'm leaving the office at 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, and I'm going to just focus on whoever's across from the table.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm not going to, focus too much on work, because you can get really down on yourself sometimes. You can get, like, there's times where I sit in my office and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. My days off are Fridays. I go home.
Yeah.
I literally shut myself in the house. I TiVo all my shows during the week, and I sit there and
binge watch.
I binge watch. I do. I sit there and I binge watch my shows.
What do you watch?
I watch. Oh, there's a bunch of them. I love the House Hunter shows. Oh. House Hunter International. I watch all of those.
Where are they finding these houses?
Exactly for the prices.
$100,000.
Thank you. That's what I said.
Because we're LA girls. That's why.
Yeah. Everything's got to be at least $1 million. It's like $200,000. Where is that?
It's true. It's so true. But housing prices are dropping, FYI.
They are.
Just wait until the middle of next year.
Keep in
the
mind.
Middle of next year, they're plummeting.
You heard it here first.
But, so I binge watch my shows, I do some dishes, clean the living room, stuff I haven't been able to do all week because I go home, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And then, around 4 or 5 o'clock, I have my margarita.
Listen.
Because why not?
Why not?
Then I call Gary and ask him when you coming home and cook dinner.
It's been rough. It's been rough with this remote. The TV.
But yeah, I take every Friday to myself, and I don't come into the office, and because what I found, I quit working about 5 years ago, 2015. What I found is that I'm a baby boomer, so when you stop working and you don't have that routine every day that you're used to, you slip into a depression. Nobody tells you about that depression. And you don't even realize you're in it until you wake up one morning and you realize, ooh, Charlie Brown's cloud has been hanging out. So and then
why am I sad? Because I'm doing what I wanted, which is to be like
Then you got to figure out a way to pull yourself out.
Yeah.
And so part of what we like to do and what we like to talk about is give women hope and give women a purpose,
inspiration.
And we're not trying to give them their purpose. We're just trying to help them find their purpose.
Yes.
What is your purpose, and what is your purposeful fun?
Yeah.
What do you like to do that you can have fun at? And if need be, make money at.
Right.
Right. But do something.
So for us, like, being creative is sort of part of the world that we're in
just
right now. Yeah. And I think the hardest part that we find is finding the inspiration. What's going to inspire me? What's the next thing? Like, you have to stay inspired. How do you, like, when your creativity is kind of low, what do you do to like spark your creativity or find inspiration? What's your thing? I'm
a child. In my head, I really am. I never grew up.
So scary.
In some ways, like, I really, my mental state is very much that of I was telling you, I'm like a 5-year-old that pays taxes. That's all this is. And like, I run numbers and then that's it. I'm just doing my best to have fun, and like you said earlier, you're finding your fun in different ways, like whether it's a different design or taking that extra hour in the morning to do, if you have that ability to take care of yourself and have a cup of coffee and just kind of, okay, I'm gonna ease into this day because I know right now is not a time for me to go hard at it, or I'm going to not go to work on Friday and just have my time.
And that's kind of the beauty of having your own business too, is that you can do that. Like when there's a day that you just need to have a down day, you can do it. Like, today's a down day, I'll get back at it tomorrow.
And I think that's a lot of the reason why women are falling into their own businesses too, because we want that time. We want to be able to create our own time and decide
flexibility,
what our own time looks like. And and I was telling another friend of mine that I used to work with, and she's down in Orange County. She's doing her own thing, and she's doing very well at it. She's doing cosmetics, and I was telling her that selling is not really my thing. I do it well, but I don't like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What I really like doing is, my passion is really promoting other women and promoting their women and encouraging women to shop and buy from women-owned businesses, because that's where our power is going to come from, is us, because let's face it, we are the biggest buyers.
Consumers,
Consumers,
we are.
exactly.
We have the purse strings.
And we got to start supporting each other and buying from each other. And I love buying from cottage businesses and supporting cottage businesses and
creators and women entrepreneurs in general.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, like, did you ever just have that drive to do your own business, or did you just, or was it just, you really just fell into it?
I think it's both. I never saw myself working at a company. I never did. I've always seen myself doing something else. And that's just, I don't know why I'm like that. I just never saw myself working for someone. And that
I'm
might
the
be,
same way.
like, I'm stubborn. I don't know. Maybe it's that.
Don't tell me what to do.
I don't want to be told what to do. And
I did. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
So, and I'm like, I also figure, okay, those things will be there if I need them. And if I have if I'm, blessed enough to have this and really be able to have this right out of college, then this is what I should take that opportunity. I shouldn't squander it, you know what I mean? Right. And go get a job at whatever and go work for somebody and like have a salary cap, and like there's nothing, like you're hitting your head on a ceiling every day and working for someone else. So it's like, here I'm limitless. You can get an email, it'll, good or bad, and it'll change your whole day. You
exactly.
know what I mean? So it's like this, but I would rather have that than.
And you get to the level of your effort. Do you know what I mean? So
yes.
As much effort as you put in, that's how much reward you're going to reap back.
Right.
Versus if you're working for someone else, you're putting in a lot of effort, but you're going to be at the same amount, and maybe you'll move up a little bit, but you're never going to be paid your worth.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't, because they have to take a cut for,
right.
the business. So you're never going to be paid your worth. So yeah, I am so into like entrepreneurialism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I find?
Which is hard to say when you've had some wine.
Exactly.
Entrepreneurial.
I find that I'm at the very creative stage in my life right now, which I absolutely love. It scares me, but I love it.
That's great.
Because
it's good that it scares you.
Like, Sam's been trying to get me to draw.
Yes.
And like, no. But I have very creative ideals in my head.
Yes, you are very
that
creative.
I'm going to write down, and Sam's going to draw. We're going to create this line of stuff. But I also write children's books. And so I'm like I find myself just really starting to get back into that part of my life.
Literally,
now.
I've been trying to pull this one children's book out of her for 35 years.
Aww.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. This is a good one. You
Yes.
gotta do it. I love this concept. So I'm hoping that she's gonna finally bring it to fruition.
Here's the thing, and this is one thing that I've learned: just do it.
There you go.
And like, as stupid it's a Nike slogan, whatever. But just do it.
Slogan.
Slogan.
That's slogan after wine.
Yeah, slogan. But
it's
you really do just have to do it. And if you don't do it, someone else will.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to go to Barnes & Noble and you're going to open a book and be like,
that's my design.
Yeah,
I thought about that.
That's
right.
and that's what I realized. It's like, the difference between you and someone who is on the shelf somewhere is just the fact that they at some point in their lives decided to do it, and that's
just did it.
Well, she caught me at a good time because I was like sitting at home and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and she calls me, as she always does, Sin, let's do a podcast. And I'm like, and for a hot second I was about to say no, and then I thought, Cindy, come on out of that bubble. Come on out of that bubble. And so I said, yes, okay, let's do it. What are we going to talk about?
And I'm like, I don't know.
And so we're making this thing, and it's starting to, catch on. And thank you, all our people who love checking in with us and watching us. And, just, stop by, have a glass of wine one day. And so we're going to stop for a few minutes because we need to take a break. But don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to sit right here in silence for a few seconds.
Right.
And we're back. As if we went anywhere. So, Sam, your chair's bumping the table.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because this is real. Anyway, so from doing this podcast, I have realized that it's actually starting to awaken the creativity in me. And it's so fun because I run across people and I'm thinking, oh, you should come on our podcast and talk about that.
Yeah.
You should come on our podcast and talk about that. And I see all these women with all these interesting businesses. Like there's a woman down in Orange County, and I need to hit her up, that empowers women financially. And I want her to come and have that conversation with us.
And the one who makes the bracelets. Oh my god.
And the one that makes the bracelets.
I love her bracelets. I know.
So we're gonna get her in here. So
bracelet you need to,
next year's, and then we found this girl that she writes poetry. Yeah. And she's just starting out.
Stacy found her.
Stacy found her. And I love that. I love doing that. I love being able to say, here's your step stool, step up, have a glass of wine, and tell us about it.
Exactly.
And so
you have your platform.
You were my obsession.
Oh, thank you.
And I just love your cards. I wish I had one to show people.
I mean, I'm right next door. I'll show you. We can
tell people your website.
It's FineAssLines.com. That's F-I-N-E, fine, ass as in the cuss word for your butt, lines, Lines.com.
I love that. Tell us about the name, because I gotta hear that. I wanted to know that story.
Okay, so it was just like I said, it was like the blog spot, and FineLines was taken, so I decided to just put, I don't know what I was thinking. That's how it was just so throwaway and so insignificant that I didn't put much thought into it.
I love it.
I love it too.
The logo, did you come up with that on your own as well?
I did. I think it was right around New Year's of, 2015 that I came up with that logo.
I love it.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it. I love your cards.
Thank you.
So do I.
I love
you guys should go
your
check them out.
Story, and you can follow her on
at FineAssLines
on Instagram.
I guess I'm most active there. So.
And it's fun because you can see, new cards that she does. It's absolutely fun. Oh, ooh, right on.
Pizza's here.
And so now, toward the end, we do what we call our speed round of questions.
All right.
So we let you pick some questions out of the hat, and then we answer them.
One.
Okay.
At random.
I'm so afraid.
Don't be afraid. We have to make a T-shirt that says, "Don't be scared."
Oh God. If you could spend an evening with a famous person, who would it be and why? Oh God, I don't even know.
Really,
you have a minute to think.
In LA, for God's
I
sake.
know.
You
I
have
don't
a minute
know.
to think.
Who's strange to me?
Dead or alive? They don't have to be living.
Alive. You know what? My dad does HR for a living, and he always asks this question to people, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know who I would say, but I really don't know. Monica Bellucci. I love her. I think she's beautiful, and I think she's strong, and I think she's a great actress, and I think I would love to pick her brain.
What have we seen her in?
Yeah, she's not ringing a bell. I can't pull up. Is she Jim Belushi's sister?
No.
Belushi related?
No. She's an actress from. She's Italian and French.
Okay.
And she was in a film called Irreversible, which is really a very heavy film, and I wouldn't recommend watching it if you're not
In a
If
mentally
you're
good
Mood,
place.
yeah, like if you're in a mood.
If you live in Oregon or Washington, where it rains all the time.
Yeah, where you're already a little bit, down. It's a rough movie. And then she was in Milena, which was another great movie. I don't know, I just love her. She was in what was the big blockbuster
We have
she
all
did?
kind of great people.
She's a Bond girl. She's like an old.
Oh, okay.
Old Bond
Can I
girl.
take a minute to say hi to some people
Sure.
that are watching us on Facebook?
Yeah.
Anita, Patty. Oh,
But
Veronica.
You do need to...
I need to back up.
You do.
Well, then I have to put on my glasses. See,
Okay.
that's how that
That's
happens.
all right.
I need to get my eyes.
Joanne and Kim and Tasha. Oh, Annie, hi. Thank you guys. And Jen. Thank you guys so much for hanging in with us and coming to watch us. And for everybody that just got in, we are talking to...
Sophia Elias
Hello.
Thank you.
with FineAss card.
Lines.
FineAss Lines.
Damn, we're all...
It's okay.
We're gonna say it so
or
many
drunk,
times.
One of the two.
I know both.
You know what?
FineAss
Okay, so
Lines.
this is what I want to ask you because I
Yes.
can totally see this. I read on your website, people use your cards to paper the wall.
Yes.
Do tell.
They use them as art prints. Weirdly enough, one of my best friends, he was going over to he takes guitar lessons and he goes to this guy's house for guitar lessons. So he walks into the house and he saw one of my cards on his wall and he's like, "What? That is so weird. That is my best friend makes these cards. That's crazy." And then I started finding out that people use them as art prints or whatever. And I made wrapping paper at one point, and there's one girl who I'm friends with on Instagram, and she uses it as like her background for all of her pictures, and
That is so
it's
cool.
interesting.
So have you ever thought about, or does this cheapen it?
No.
Because I never know. Have you ever thought about t-shirts?
And I have the SKUs of like, okay, we have like 600 white t-shirts in extra small, and then 600 white t-shirts in small, and then like the SKUs scare the living crap out of me, and I'm very afraid to get into clothing. The one way that I would be comfortable with clothing is if I design and then I collaborate with someone who already knows how to do distribution, because I sit with stock, I sit with inventory, which is I know can move, but I don't know how t-shirts sell. I don't know the t-shirt market. That's not my expertise, so I would be open to collaborating with other people.
Why don't you look into one of those print-on-demand sites?
That's what we use.
Yeah, just for like people that
Because
do,
they just print them up as people order them.
Yeah.
right.
And you can do that through Etsy. You're already on Etsy, right?
I took myself off of Etsy.
Oh, okay.
Just because it was getting so saturated and people started stealing my stuff. And
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
What the hell?
I know. I got pissed.
Have a conversation about that.
Makes the blood boil.
We don't steal people's ideals.
No. Yeah, they started it. People, there was someone on Amazon just printing my cards and selling them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
You have to report it as like a copyright infringement, and then you prove that, okay, I came up with this design in 2015, so...
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work.
It's
It's annoying, yeah. It's like, it's work you don't have to do. It's
dude, I need to be making another card, but yeah, I'm sitting up in here
like,
with
I'm gonna
you.
take 12 minutes out of my life to like tell you
Exactly.
to stop doing what you're doing, which is already wrong, and yeah.
Which you know is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew it was wrong when
Well,
you
that
sent it.
sucks. Okay, choose another one.
Okay. Oh gosh, maybe it's not as hard as the... I don't know, that's hard. That's a hard question.
They're all thinking questions.
What is my spirit animal?
Yes.
I love that.
I
I
love...
know, mine
okay.
too. Mine's a griffin.
What is a griffin?
It's half eagle, half lion.
Oh!
Yeah, that's
It's
you.
like a mythical
It's
animal.
mythical, yeah.
That's so you.
Spirit animal. I love jaguars and panthers. I think they're so beautiful.
Jack Pan.
Well, they're like, I think...
They kind of look the same,
Yeah,
right?
I think they are I think they're of the same. I don't know. Jesus, someone look it up. But they're so beautiful and serene and like
I could see that.
Regal
yeah,
and
it's like-
sleek in the way they move.
powerful
and,
without having to do anything, dangerous without having to do anything.
Yeah.
And I like their confidence. I wish I had their confidence. If
You
that makes
do.
sense. No, I don't.
You do.
Well,
So.
you started a business, so you got some.
Yes. Your confidence is all showing on
Mine
the
is a
inside
butterfly and
and
a
the
ladybug.
outside.
A butterfly ladybug.
I love butterflies because butterflies are beautiful, but they're amazingly resilient.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful, and they look delicate. And I love ladybugs because ladybugs, they just protect a lot of stuff.
They
like,
really
you
do.
just throw them in your garden and they just like,
Oh yeah.
do the aphid.
All right, give me the wine. Give me the wine. No more.
I'm good.
What is one of my favorite movies? This is so hard. There's so many genres of film. Oh God. Okay. Well, I can go.
Well, let's start with genre. What's your favorite genre?
I like documentaries. I really liked this one. I don't know why this is coming to my mind now.
There is no wrong answer with any of these, by the way.
Yeah, for me, like I'm gonna think of something 5 minutes later. But why did you say that? But there was a documentary called Senna, and I don't know anything about race car driving or race car drivers. I've never watched a NASCAR or a Formula One race ever in my life, but there was a documentary about this one race car driver named Senna. That was his last name. He's a Brazilian race car driver, and I cried so hard, and I had no connection with.
Did he die?
Yeah, he.
Oh, was it? And it was a documentary, so it was true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sad.
Seriously, don't you watch some Mary Poppins or something? Over the rainbow something.
I started with the Mountain Fuji and then with the Senna. It's like it's all Jesus.
Gotta find the joy.
I wonder why I sit in my office.
Act like you live in Seattle or Oregon or something. Rain.
Yeah, right. Do I believe in luck, and if so, describe when I felt lucky? Okay. Yes.
What?
You have added to this.
I didn't. That was it.
Okay.
That was the question.
I do believe
I didn't
in.
add.
It's okay. I can answer the two. It's a two-parter, and it's all connected. I do believe in luck. I do. I feel very blessed to have had this opportunity. If I grew up in a different time or in a different place or even with a different family, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have. And my family was kind enough to let me stay at home. They didn't kick me out when I was 18, and they were very supportive of what I wanted to do. So in that way I was very lucky. And I was also very lucky to come into this at a time when I didn't need $20,000 to put aside to go to a trade show, and that's how people saw me. I could put stuff on the internet and do it. It's like
that's true. This is an amazing point of time
you guys are so
in the world.
Lucky that way.
Yeah, no matter what this is the time for creatives, I think. This whole moment in time that we're living through right now, if you're a creative person, this is your moment.
Yeah, and you now have access to whoever, wherever, whenever.
Yeah.
So if you are able to share any little bit of yourself that is of interest to someone else, chances are someone will eventually find it. And so I think that's very lucky.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine the way that this used to be is you would go to trade shows and you'd shell out a bunch of money, which I still did. I did do that. But there's also this other medium that has helped all of us.
Yeah.
That's why you're able to sit here and do a podcast and whatever else.
Does it work faster for you? She has a younger thinking mind than I do. She kind of has to drag me across the line sometimes.
That's good. It's good to have friends that are like that.
She's
I do, she says sadly.
Yeah, she does have to drag me across the line sometimes.
Okay. She's a good friend.
Once I get in there, then see, I'm a researcher.
Yeah.
She's a doer. Like
Okay.
literally,
Good combo.
will jump off a cliff
For sure.
and try to catch the parachute on her way down, where I'm still standing up on the cliff. Wait, I got to get my parachute on, but first I have to research and make sure this is a really good parachute.
Meanwhile, I'm like, it's great!
Yeah, right.
And
Right.
that's how this is working. Like she'll say, okay, we're going to do this. Sin, we're going to do this. And I'm like, okay, but I got to research it, and I got to see what the profitability is in it.
Right.
By then
All
the
those
moment
things.
has
But that's
completely
exactly.
passed.
That's a beautiful combo.
It is.
You guys balance each other out.
Yeah.
We actually do, and I think you need that balance in business. You need somebody that's
Yes.
that's willing to jump off the cliff and catch the parachute on the way down, and somebody that's willing to stay back and say, okay, but there's a mattress down there for you, and I made sure it's a really good mattress,
Exactly.
so you'll land soft. But
Right.
right now I'm researching my parachute, so I'll be down in a minute.
That is a great combo. I wish I had both of those in me, and I have like both half in me, and that's why whatever. It's fine.
You've got it all. You've got everything you need, as evidenced by how wonderfully you are doing.
Your
it.
business is doing exactly right.
Thank you. Oh God, you guys, why are you giving me
These are
hard questions?
thinking questions. What is this one?
If you ran the world, what is one law you would enact?
Ooh,
Jesus Christ.
There you go. Do that one, millennial.
One law I would enact? Oh, I would make it mandatory for people in college to learn about taxes and saving and stuff like that, because my God, it is such a...
What is up with that? That is not taught at
I
any
don't know.
level of our education system
I have no idea.
at all.
And it's like, I also think like there's a part of me that's like, you're too young to go to college when you're 18. Like you're so young, you're such a baby.
Yeah, but that's when your mind can take in the most, right? You don't have all these preconceived notions of how the world works. Yeah, your parents are telling you all this other stuff, but you're in that phase where you're just like, I'm going to do my own thing. So your mind is completely open so you can change the world, right?
So the thing I love about Sam is that Sam she does whatever pops into her head.
I do.
She's written 1 or 2 books.
Wow.
And she's just amazing. But also the thing I love about her too is that she's like uber smart, and she always talks to me like I know what she's talking about.
You do.
You know I don't.
You
know I don't.
Yes,
you know I don't go science geek world with you. But she always talks to me like I know what she's talking about.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But I just feel like, you don't want to live a life with regrets. To me, that would be the worst thing, where you have a regret. And it's like, why would you do that? Just do that thing. Whatever it is that you just want to do, just do it. Why not? What's going to happen if you don't do it?
I love that about life now. I love that we're in that space right now.
At the same time.
And I love that our millennial women think that way.
Yes.
It's just like, I can do this because why not?
Exactly.
And I can.
Exactly.
Whereas when we were growing up, it was like, there was all these hurdles.
Yeah, gatekeepers. There's
exactly.
Right.
That's a good way to term it. Gatekeepers. For no reason. When you look back, you're like, why didn't the world work the way it works now?
Right. It's almost foreign when you think about it.
Yeah. Like, what is the reason for not allowing people to do what it is they do best or want to do?
Exactly. I agree.
Oh, shit. This wasn't much.
This is funny.
You get an all expense paid trip to anywhere. Okay, where do I go?
I don't know. That's my favorite.
Are you serious? You are putting way too much thought into this. Sophia.
I think that's my problem. I think too much. I'm like you. I think a lot. Too much, and then I have like another part of you and me that's just like, just do it.
Just
and
go.
then you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where would I go?
Yeah. Do you know where I see you? I'll
Where?
tell you where I see you.
Tell me.
Ibiza.
Oh, okay. Party girl.
Yes. You would have a wonderful time in Ibiza.
I'm not a party girl though. I like to stay home and I like to eat things and I like to not be. I don't know.
But
then you want to be in Paris.
So beautiful.
No, I've been to Paris and I'm going back. I'm going back in September of next year. September of next year. I've already.
That's like my favorite place in the world.
It's so
what
beautiful.
part do you go to of Paris?
I don't even know. I just know the hotel I stay at.
Okay. Which hotel?
I don't know how to pronounce it. So.
Okay.
You stay at
You just land and get yourself there.
So you're going in next year in August?
Next year, yeah. I planned
That's
it already.
wonderful.
Yeah. Because I went for 3 days for the tennis tournament, Roland Garros, because I love tennis. Mm-hmm. And I love the clay court tournaments also because I love Rafael Nadal. And so we went and we stayed in Paris. It was beautiful, but it was raining the whole time. So I want to, and that was very romantic and nice, but I also want to experience it just a little bit more fully. You're only there for 3 days. And like half the time you were at the tennis tournament, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just sent.
We always just miss the jazz festival when we're there because we usually go in May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we always go in May, and so we always miss the jazz festival. And like this time, we just caught the top end of it and saw an awesome jazz guy, which I can't think of his name. Honey, if you're watching, tell me his name. But he was just amazing. But Paris is like that's my jam.
I just sent her a bunch of, and I tweeted it out for everybody to find as well, that there's like 14 different cities.
Yeah.
That in Paris that that are just beautiful for people to go and check out.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last one.
Find someplace new. Okay, last one.
What was the last project I worked on? Okay.
Oh, that's boring. Give me that.
No, it's a good one. I had answers.
Yeah, then that's boring.
You know my answer. I haven't figured that out.
You know that's boring.
You're like, darn it.
What do I do to relax? That's a good question. I lay in bed.
That's what Cindy does too.
I love
Me
laying
too.
in bed. I think it's the best thing in the world. And like when you have like a nice comforter and it's like crunchy and real good and just huddled up in it, it feels so nice. Also, I love like that what I was talking about earlier, like just taking 30 minutes to drink coffee in the morning. It's so stupid. Also because
it's not because I have to do that.
Yeah,
she does.
30 minutes.
She
I
does.
need an hour.
I agree.
And
She really does.
I get up an hour early just so I can go get my cup of coffee, sit outside. It's almost like, drink your coffee, greet the day, slowly let your brain kind of actually wake up.
Yes.
And if someone talks to me within that hour,
Roberto Fonseca.
the wrath.
Oh, that's
the jazz guy.
Okay.
He's a Cuban.
Ooh, that's fun jazz.
And he was awesome. I was so exhausted by the time his show was over.
Isn't that crazy? When you listen to jazz, you're like living every second of it. You're like, holy shit, this is going off.
It was amazing. And I was tired by the time it was over because we got to sit down front. And this man, he pulls his audience into his show.
Yeah.
And it is so, so good. So I just
that sounds great.
And if you get a chance to go
shout out
see
to him.
Roberto Fonseca, go see him because he's just amazing. Awesome. I just love him. I love jazz. So we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
And Sophia's going to give you her website again, her Instagram.
Sure. It's FineAssLines.com, just how it sounds. And not finance, like finance, no. It's FineAssLines. And then...
Love it.
Like back when that was offensive to hear.
Not anymore.
But not anymore.
And if you are offended, it's okay to be offended. Guess what? It's okay
totally
to be offended. It's fine.
I just love the name.
Check out her cards. Go to...
At FineAssLines for
stores,
Instagram.
The stores that they're in.
Paper Source. We've got 4 different cards there. We have 2 holiday cards there right now. And we've also have a birthday card and a congratulations card if you're looking for that. So.
And Urban Outfitters as well.
And if you go to our website, you'll have a discount code for our listeners?
Yes, I have 15% off, and you can just enter the code BEST2, the number 2.
There
you
go. You can get a discount on her cards.
Just hooked you up, so go buy them for the holidays.
They're fun. They're really fun cards, and they're really, really different.
Super cute.
So, Sophia, wow. Thank you for coming in and having a conversation with us and sharing your story and drinking this good wine. It took us for freaking ever. We literally had to use pliers to get into this bottle of wine. I'm not kidding you, but it's a really good bottle of wine.
I walked in on it.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors, Go Graphics and Printing Company, Finally Affordable Color Printing. And you can reach them at gographics.net, or you can call them at 310-445-9999.
And we'll see you
next time.